Hello and welcome to Attention Central Texas. I'm your host, Charles Jenkins, and in the studio with me we have Ms. Trish Alger, who's the lead craft care specialist at the Cahill Center in Temple, Texas. Hello and welcome to today's show.
Thank you, Charles.
Yes,
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. Ms. Trish, let's just jump right into why you're here today. Help heal veterans, I know is near and dear to your heart. Just jump in and share what you guys have coming up here real soon.
Thank you. Yes, Help Heal Veterans is definitely dear to my heart. We've been giving craft kits to veterans for 52 years. And the thing I love about it is seeing the changes that come over a veteran after they've worked on a project, and then the satisfaction they receive when they've completed that, and they can see how they've taken all these pieces and made something that is beautiful and functional, or that they can be proud of the time that they've put in. And so as an extension of that, for years I've been wanting to have some kind of an art show. And last year was our first attempt. We had a very small one, and we teamed up with Ava Fest. It's the Austin Veteran Art Festival, which Glenn Towery had started in Austin about 5 years ago. And it was a great dry run for us to really get things going, because this year's going to be a big party. So we're really excited. Actually, the Cultural Activity Center, the CAC in North Temple, is going to host it for us.
All right.
I know, this is awesome. So we have two different art galleries that are going to be opening. One is going to be Frank Mendez. He is a Vietnam veteran out of Austin, who's been painting mostly portraits, but also landscapes and a lot of other scenes from that he has remembered from the war. And so he has his own gallery space, so that's going to be huge. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to show him off. And then the other space is going to be even more special. It has not only fine art, there will be oil paintings, there will be mixed media, but we also have a stained glass artist, a woods craftsman who's going to be showcasing what he makes. And then we also have those who have worked in what you might call folk art. And one of our veterans has kind of given me a glimpse of what he's been working on, and it's kind of like a really cool little diorama that he's been working on. So I can't wait to see what all of them are going to bring to it. In fact, we have an art therapist, people out at Intrepid Spirit Post. And he's been given permission to share some of the work that his patients have been using out there during art therapy. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, this is going to be great. I can't wait to show it.
And speaking of all of this, all of the different people that you talk about, this is for the Cahill Center Showcase. Yes. Tell our viewers, when is the showcase, where, and the price, and how do they get in contact with you, all that good information?
Great, yes, Charles. So first of all, it's free like everything else we do. I love that. And second of all, yes, it's going to be on Veterans Day. Okay. And we're well aware everyone's going to have a lot going on Veterans Day, but we made it at the end of the day. I always say if you're going to the parade or you have another event, go to that, go home, take a nap, and then come out and have some fun with us. Good. So it's from 4 to 7 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have it fully packed, not only opening up the showcases or the different art exhibits that are happening, but we have some really great speakers. Carrie Cahill is going to be there. That's Michael Cahill's daughter. Also, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, she was an actress on there too. So she's a very busy person, but she's going to come and spend time with us. Frank Mendez is going to speak. And then we also have through Ava Fest, we have veteran comedians and dancers. Wow. And we even have live music from T.W. Riza is going to be there. So we're going to fill those 3 hours with as much as we can for veterans, just to honor them and have fun with it, hopefully inspire them also to try something as well. Because we're always talking about the fact that there's struggles that a lot of veterans have when they come back home. And we want them to have something to get them through today and to the next day. And that's part of what we do, just trying to be part of that healing journey along.
I see you're going to have food trucks as well.
Yes, we have a food truck. At least one food truck we've already had signed up, so we're hoping to have at least two, but we'll have at least one out there. We're going to have little swag bags and some real fun little things that we want to give out as well.
Tell us a little bit about I know the veteran art. tell us how has that been healing to veterans to start from here and then to see the end product, and what's that feeling been like for them?
So for me, I also am an artist. I'm not a veteran, but I'm a wife of one, and I know even personally for me, I've seen the same thing in veterans. It's the process. There's something in that process. So when you start something, even taking, you could take a canvas or you could take one of our craft kits, for example, like a wallet kit, and everything's already there for you. But when you look at all the parts and pieces of it, and then you have to focus your brain on how to put them together and to make them into the project you want at the end. Same with painting. You're planning out in your mind how this is all gonna go. And it's something about that process that draws you in. There's a few different things that happen. First of all, obviously your mind is unfocused from all the other things going around, like a little, I always think like a squirrel cage going on always. You can't turn it off sometimes,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so you're focused on something else, and that stops that for a moment because you're focused here, not up here. And earlier this year, other craft care specialists throughout the United States and myself were on a Zoom call with someone who reminded us of what happens when you're crafting, playing music, or involved in any activity where your brain is completely engaged. The trauma that is usually stored in the back of your brain comes forward, because that's what it needs to do, is come forward to be processed. And I didn't realize that when you're doing an activity, that's what it does by itself. You don't have to do anything. Your brain automatically does it for you. So just working on that kind of a project, say you're like the stained glass artist, while she's working on that, can you just imagine if there's any trauma from, she's still active duty actually. And so, I mean, anything that she has there that's being brought forward and being processed while she's doing this beautiful piece, I think there's something beautiful in that entire process.
And the showcase, is it just for veterans, military, or it's for just families can come out?
I want entire families to come
That's
out. So
awesome.
obviously we want to honor the veterans
Yes.
and active duty as well. But just in the auditorium alone there, because the Mayborn Auditorium is what we have for everything, they seat over 400.
Oh, wow.
So we're planning on having enough for everyone to do
Yes.
for a few hours. So yes, pleased to invite everybody.
So how was the turnout for the first one?
So the turnout for the first one was a little slow, and I think it was just, it was our first one.
Yes.
But I will say, and this has happened with other things that we've done, the best part to see is what happens between the veterans when they're together. Now they make friendships that hadn't been there before. As a matter of fact, one of the people who had been in our showcase last year just came in recently into our center and taught a resin class, because she makes resin jewelry and pieces. And so that's something that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't had the showcase. We wouldn't have met her.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the, if you know it, what's the physical address of the Help Heal Veterans?
Oh,
the
for
K-Hill
us.
Center.
Oh, the K-Hill Center. We're actually in Temple, a street over from the VA.
Okay.
So we're at 819 South 5th Street. So that's the corner of Avenue I and 5th Street.
Okay.
If anyone knows, usually Avenue H is where everybody takes up and down to get everywhere off the 35. And so we're just a little jog right off of there.
Now, Ms. Trish, what would you say to the veteran sitting at home just watching us do this interview? What would you say to them to get them out to just come and experience what's going on?
Oh, I love that, because that's usually my biggest concern are the veterans that have felt that they can't today leave the home, can't leave home, they're more comfortable where they're at. Take a step and try it. Most of the veterans that you're going to see, their artwork, their craftsmanship in these shows felt the same exact way. And first of all, you have camaraderie with them. You're going to be amongst brothers and sisters that have also been where you've been. And then you are going to have fun. I mean, that's the whole point behind everything that we're doing. This is going to be fun. Everybody needs some fun in their life, so we want to bring it.
And if you haven't heard, Carrie Cahill and Frank Mendez. Speaking of Carrie Cahill, just real quick, tell our viewers the story behind the Cahill Center.
Sure, I will. So 2009 is when the shooting took place on Fort Hood, and Michael Cahill, Mr. Cahill, was the one who rushed the shooter and saved other people's lives. He was working there that day, and his wife, Jolene, they lived all the way out in, oh my goodness, where is that, Caldwell area? They were way out east, and she said she waited all day and didn't get a call from him, so she kind of knew. When I met her, they had already, he had already passed, and when I had met her, she was handing our craft kits out at the VFW and American Legion out in the Rockdale area out there, and she was very kind. Anyone who was a first responder even to the tragedy, they would gather to her and talk to her. She was an amazing woman. We lost her a little over a year ago, and her daughter, Carrie, had come to our VP. She knew him through AMVETS, and she asked him about making a craft kit that would honor her father. So her father from the 70s, he was a Vietnam vet, he's a little bit of a hippie in him. He had this wide leather cuff that he wore all the time, and she got his cuff. And so that's one of our craft kits, the Cahill wristband, and it has his signature actually embossed in it. It has the story on the front of it. And even after the passing of their mother, they've still been very big supporters of ours.
That's awesome.
I know. She's very passionate, obviously, about creativity and about veterans.
We have about 20 seconds.
Sure.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I just want to reach out to anyone who believes in the veteran and active duty community that today just feels lonely or feels hopeless. And I just want you to know there are other veterans, there are other people who care about you and that want to talk to you, want to spend time with you. And you can always come and reach out to us at the Cahill Center because we definitely want to hear from you.
Well, Ms. Trish, I just want to take this time to say thank you for being on the show today, and thank you so much for what you do for veterans, because it's so well worth it. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you, our viewers, for tuning in to Attention Central Texas.